Welcome to the Handcrafted Podcast, the business of making things. I'm Paul, founder of Philadelphia Table Company and the Handcrafted Network, and I believe great craftsmanship deserves great business strategy. This podcast is for makers who want to build not just great products, but a thriving business. Each episode will dive into the mindset, systems, and skills that turn craft into success. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Handcrafted Podcast. I hope everybody's doing well, settling into 2026, and really motivated to get this year underway and to continue growing. I just wrapped up another group call with the scaling group. It was a really great call, really awesome mastermind style. If you're interested in joining that group, feel free to send me an email, paul@thehandcraftednetwork.com. That's by application only. I've been talking to a lot of people recently about web development, web design, all of that stuff. So I'm going to give you 8 pointers, 8 tips of things that I think would be really important when you're developing and building your website. Whether you're doing it yourself or you're hiring somebody else to do it, we'll talk about all that sort of stuff. But a quick reminder, this group is brought to you by the Handcrafted Network. It's an online community and classroom where you can connect with other professional makers in the woodworking space as well as other maker space. We have a few other people that are not necessarily woodworkers in there. We have live group calls. We have, as an extension, we could do some one-on-one coaching stuff. And this is also the last call for our January 16th year planning session. So we have a year planning session, a yearly revenue planning session set for January 16th at noon. So that's a week from today, which I'm recording on Friday. So January 16th at noon. It's for paid members only. If you're interested in joining the group, there's a link below in the show notes. Just click on that, sign up, and I'll see you on that call. It's one of those things that I've done year over year for my business, Philadelphia Table Company, and it's something that I did last year with the group members that have really seen a lot of success. So that was fantastic, and I hope to see you guys in there. If you have any other questions about that before signing up, send me an email, paul@thehandcraftednetwork.com. All right, so with that said, let's dive into the topic for today. Today is web development, how to make an effective website, how to make a website that generates leads, that brings in people, essentially. So I've seen a lot of people do websites a few different ways. I've been talking to a lot of people about it, and I've been really doing a lot of breakdown stuff. And actually in the community, we do have a website audit section. So if you want your website audited and you're not a member of the group, you could sign up for the group. You could just put your website in, and Jim, my marketing guy, will go through and give you a website audit, tell you the things that you need to change. All right, so with that said, I actually have built my own website. I use Squarespace. It was pretty simple to use. If you're not able to use that, if you're not of that sort of skill set, make sure you hire somebody to do it. You could find people on Upwork. You could find people all over who will help make websites. So you can do WordPress, you could do Squarespace, you could do Wix. All of these are really kind of now easy ways to make websites. So with that said, these are the things that I think every website should have. 8 things that are super important. All right, so number 1, right at the top of the page, you need to have a hero image or a hero video. If you go on my website, philadelphiatablecompany.com, I'm basically going to talk you through a lot of the stuff that I have on my website. There's also a few things that are a little simpler that you don't need all the bells and whistles. So at the top of my page, I have a hero video. So the hero, they call it that because it's kind of the first thing people see when they come to your page. So that could be an image of you woodworking. That could be an image of whatever it is you're selling. Maybe it's ceramics or anything like that. What I like best for that is I like an image that tells a story. So if you're not doing a video, so if you go check out my website, I have a video that sort of tells the story of Handcrafted, and it really kind of gives you the feeling of, I always say I wanted my website to feel like you were in the shop. I wanted it to smell like sawdust when you went to the page. So I would try to figure out what image you want up there that sort of conjures that imagery, whether you are making custom furniture or you're selling prefab furniture that's pre-designed and it's customizations. That's your hero image. That's going to be your main image that people see when they get there first. The biggest mistake I see is I see that image and then I see nothing else below it or nothing else on that image. So here's the tip. On that hero image, if you notice on our page, we have a button that says work with us. I think every hero image needs to be clickable, and every hero image needs to have a button that says get a quote, work with us, view our gallery, or get your coupon for X% off, or view our online store. So that's the thing that you want people to do the most. That's the hero task, right? So that button needs to be the most important button. It's what people are going to click on first, is what people first see. So highly recommend a hero image with some sort of button. I see this time and time again. I actually had a professional web developer early on when I joined a mastermind group tell me, Paul, you're missing out on business. You need to have that image be clickable. You need to have a button right there. So that's number one. Number two, you need to have a very clean contact page section. So you need to have a section that's somewhere below or as an external place to go. So that main button could be a contact us page. The one big mistake I see for custom makers, whether you're doing custom cabinets, custom furniture, custom ceramics, custom embroidery, is I see a contact page, but then I don't see a drop-down menu for budget. Budget is so critical and so important for helping close deals. Time and time again, I'm able to reference people's budget numbers, and sometimes they might come to me for a table that I would charge $4,000, but their budget's $8,000. So I can get a little bit more cash out of it. I could propose some other ideas that will drive the value up a little bit. A budget dropdown is super critical. So for me, if you go on my website, PhiladelphiaTableCompany.com, if you click on the Get Started, that button will take you to our contact page. You'll see the dropdown. I have our lowest price tier starting at $4,000 to $6,000, then we go $6,000 to $8,000. And where that sort of benchmark starts is really what indicates the type of client you're going to get. If your budget starts at $500 or starts at $1,000, your shop minimum, you're going to start getting a lot of those low bottom feeder type of clients, the people looking for deals. I like to use this as a virtue signaling way to say, hey, to work with us, you're not going to end up spending anything less than $4,000. It also really helps gauge the conversation for if they ask for something that is, say, $10,000, but their budget's only $4,000 to $6,000. I can then say, hey, what you asked for is $10,000 and we can do that. But to stay within your expected budget, we can do this instead. Many people will go, oh, I just clicked $4,000 to $6,000 because I didn't know how much it would cost. $10,000 is fine. Or other people will be like, thank you so much for the suggestion. I didn't realize there was a big price difference between that option and this option. And I think this option is just as good as that option for the lower price. It just really helps you close a lot more deals and helps you pre-vet the people coming in so you're not constantly chasing people. I know a lot of you guys run Facebook ads to Messenger. That's my biggest beef with that, is you're constantly chasing these leads. You know, you feel like a dog chasing your tail. It's low quality leads. How much is this? How much is that? I like to get it out of the way right away and say, hey, what is your budget? And if you don't have that drop down there, you don't have that advantage for sales. Number three, if you notice on my website, I have a thing on the bottom that says text us. This is a really important thing because a lot of people are going to try to find the easiest way to get a hold of you. What this is sometimes is a little bit of my garbage disposal. So I know people that aren't super serious are going to click that because they don't want to fill out the form or they don't want to put a budget number. But I do get valuable leads from that. There are a few different ones you can use. I think Olark was the first one I used. I currently use Podium. Podium's pretty expensive. That's more of a text thing. But more and more, if you notice, every single website you go to now has this chat icon, has this text icon, something in the bottom right corner of your screen. It's a really great way for clients to feel less committed to it and for you to sort of like work them in. That has been a really great source of leads for me. It hasn't been a huge source of revenue. Every now and then I'll close one or two people out of that. A lot of times it's people just saying, hey, how much for this? How much for that? But it is a really great way to sort of vet leads. And if you're looking for leads and you're trying to just close whatever you can, I think that's a really great way to do it. Put it at the bottom. If you look, mine is pretty simple. Mine just says text us for a quick quote. It should say something like that. You want it to be pretty easy for them to fill out. Don't make them fill out a bunch of information there. Or it could be another place where you can then say, hey, what is your budget before they submit the question? Because that could be really helpful. But TextBot is helpful. Go through, use ChatGPT or find Google and search which one's going to be the best one that works for you. Like I said, I like to use Podium. Podium's pretty expensive because Podium is like phone lines and texts and all that sort of stuff, but it's pretty seamless. If you want to test it, feel free to go to my website, Paul at Philadelphia Table, or just go to PhiladelphiaTableCompany.com. You could text that chat bot and just be like, hey, Paul, this is so-and-so. I've listened to your podcast. I just wanted to see how this worked. And the reason why I picked that was it's the best on the user side. My side's pretty good. I have like a little interface that it works out with, but it's really, really good on the customer side. All right, number 4. seems very, very dumb to not have this, but I see so many people not have it. You need to have a very, very clean photo gallery. So it should be on maybe your main page, something you could click through or swipe through. You have to take the time to get really amazing photos of the pieces you're selling. And, it takes a little bit of effort. It takes a little bit of time, but it's really critical. And it's not necessarily the things you're selling, but it's more to show that you are capable of making X. So our photo gallery, for example, just says, hey, this is an inspiration page. This is a collection of things that we've done. Let us know if something sticks out for you. The thing that's also really nice about that is when you are talking to clients, you could be like, hey, have you seen our gallery? Was there anything that stuck out to you? It kind of gives you a good little starting point for those of you guys who are custom makers. So a gallery is super critical. Make sure you're starting to get really good photos now. And if you can't get really good photos, take the photos with your phone, upload them to some sort of AI and say, hey, can you edit this for me? Can you make this photo better? Can you make this image better? Just make sure it's consistent and all looks really, really nice. All right, next, another one I don't see on a lot of websites, or I see and it's just kind of half-assed or not done fully, is story. You need to tell who you are. Why are people coming to your page? Why would people work with you versus working with anybody else down the street? For me, story is super important. That's what builds the luxury strategy. That's what builds the brand. There have actually been a lot of studies that prove that consumers, after reading Wikipedia pages, are more likely to engage with the product. People more and more these days are buying into the story of what the product is, as opposed to just going with whoever's cheapest. It's also a great way for you to increase your pricing. If you're telling a story, they're buying into that. They're buying into the brand name. They're buying into it. So, for example, Porsche. Yes, Porsche makes incredible cars, but Porsche also has a story behind it. Maserati has a story behind it. All of these things are story-based, which leads to luxury pricing, and you're going to get a better, more invested client. I'm looking for the kind of clients that are fans of the brand, not just people who want something from me. Of course, there are people who just want something. Hey, I just want a table or I just want a cabinet because I can't find anyone else to do it. But my best clients are the ones that come to me and say, I want something by Philadelphia Table Company because I read your story and it resonates with me. Also, try to make your story a little bit unique. A lot of us who are woodworkers, for example, a lot of us started in a garage and then slowly grew from there, blah, 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 blah. Same story over and over and over again. Try to find a way to put a twist on it. Why did you do it? Did you do it to raise money for an adoption? Did you use it? Did you, start this business during COVID and you were trying to prove to someone that you can make money doing this or something, Try to find, did you inherit this from your grandfather and, you're living on his legacy, or you're doing something for your kids or whatever. Pick a story, find a story, and make it so it resonates. Not just some, hey, I started in a garage and it all started the same thing. For me, the About Us talks about everything from our brand story, like the things that we believe in, the ethics, the quality, why we care about what we're doing. It's not just who we are, but it's why we're doing what we're doing and why you should work with us. So make sure you're taking the extra time to really, really build on that story part of your page. Another thing, reviews. I can't express this enough, how important reviews are. All websites have review widgets you can add. So whether you're using Google reviews or you're using Facebook reviews, I personally highly recommend Google reviews just because that's what sort of populates through the upcoming AI trend. Get your reviews, make sure they're auto-populated on your web page. That shows validity. That's what makes you, it's like proof that you work with people, that you have great response, and it really gives people the courage to want to work with you, as well as maybe push them over the edge to be like, oh, wow, look at this great review that so-and-so wrote about them. This is really, really great. And with that said, all of these things I'm saying so far can be on that homepage. You don't need to make different pages. You can make it so you scroll down, and we'll talk about that a little bit at the end. The next thing is link to socials. I was just on the phone call with somebody who had an amazing website, and he's like, yeah, and I'm really active on socials. I'm like, but where's your social media that's not linked anywhere? So for me, I have a little box that's linked to our Instagram. Social media is really important. There's, it sounds kind of crazy, but like my wife to this day will basically be like, she'll immediately go to their Instagram page to just see what their vibe is about before making a purchase. Or, more and more people, that's a further place to tell where the story is. And like I was saying before, more and more people are diving into the story of a brand, and your social media is really where you can tell the story and go a lot deeper. So if you give people a reason to be fans, if you give them something for them to follow, if you give them sort of the background of what it is, and you have a really strong social media presence, it's just going to help further close the deal. So make sure you have links there. There's a lot of widgets you can add that have, include your Instagram grid, something like that. You can check out, again, my website. I have like a little Instagram grid below. People can click on it and sort of look into and see what it is we're doing as well. It also provides like another gallery, if you will. The last one I want to talk about that I don't see a lot of people doing, this one always felt really kind of dumb to me until recently when I started doing, not until recently, until about probably 2 years ago when I started doing it, is having a blog. It's like, hey, who reads these blogs? I'll tell you who reads the blogs is ChatGPT, is all of the AI bots, all of the crawlers read the blogs. So what I like to do is I like to phrase the blogs in questions, right? Most people who are searching on things like ChatGPT or Google are now typing in like, how do I find a custom table, or how much does a custom table cost? So what I started doing was I really started writing blog posts with question answer format. So I used, and you don't need to necessarily write them per se. You can use AI to like tool it against itself. But what I would do is use AI to write those answer question type things. One of the main traffic sources, not the main traffic sources, but large traffic source to our website is a blog that I wrote called How Much Does a Custom Table Cost? Because when people type that into Google, we're the one that comes up. So people come to our page and then they start exploring and searching all that stuff. The blog doesn't necessarily need to be something that's on that homepage screen like I talked about, but the blog's really important. You should be doing it regularly, coming up with a whole bunch of different questions to answer within that blog space. Make sure it includes photos and uses AI or SEO type stuff for AI to grab. You can also take blog posts, put them into AI and be like, hey, can you add SEO keywords to this? Or how can I make this blog so that you, ChatGPT, can find this when somebody's searching for me? So those are super, super critical. So going through all of this stuff can be on the homepage. So just to review, we have the hero image with clickable buttons, and you should also have multiple clickable buttons throughout the entire page. If you scroll down on my website, my homepage, I think I have like the contact us like 6 times down that homepage, main homepage. So hero image with clickable buttons, clean contact page. Make sure your contact page is clean, really easy to use, specifically asks for quotes and like budget number so that they know. A chat to text box, so that's down in the bottom right corner. A clean photo gallery. This could be just right in the middle of the page that somebody can swipe through. A story about who you are and why. I think that would work perfectly under a gallery section. It's like who I am. Maybe it's a photo of you working in the shop. Why you, what it is that you're doing, what's different. You could even make that a video, which would be even better. We did it as a video on our page. If you click the About Us, it's under there. Reviews, make sure reviews are on that page too. And then link to socials, and then maybe blog somewhere on the bottom. So it should be one long scrolling page when you're on your phone. That's the other thing. Make sure it looks good on your phone too. A lot of people build websites on computers and then they never check the phone. Make sure the phone and mobile version of the website is really great. All right, guys. Hope this was helpful today. Let me know if you have any other questions or if you want me to review and take a look at your website. It's just paul@thehandcraftednetwork.com. I'm starting to collect questions for the next office hours. So if you have any office hours questions, feel free to send me an email. Or if you have a topic idea for another podcast episode, send me an email, paul@thehandcraftednetwork.com. And once again, a quick reminder, January 16th at noon, we are doing the yearly revenue planner. That's for paid members only. If you're interested in joining the group, there is a link below in the comment section of the YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, or in the show notes on any of your podcast listening apps. All right, guys, have a good one. Stay dusty. Peace.